All right, esteemed SICHL GMs, thank you for watching. We're so grateful. And now we have the top 10. That's right. These are the 10 best teams that we think are going to kick everybody's batootie into Gabluti. Eric, who is number 10?
That's some fine wordplay, by the way.
I appreciate that you edited, given that my 7-year-old is like 10 feet away right now.
Number 10, we got our newbie.
Hey,
Niagara Ice.
the Niagara
Welcome,
Ice. Cameron, this is awesome. So you have inherited a really solid team. Eric, how does Niagara look?
With an excellent forward group, 5th best in the league by
Wow.
our ratings.
Wow.
I gotta pull this up just to believe it. That's incredible.
Fantastic.
What are we looking at here? Oh yes, led by the super pest Brad Marchand. We got a hurdle. We got a very highly rated Vetrano. We got Jason Robertson. It just keeps going. That's a deep team.
Fantastic.
Konechny is their 6th best forward. That's wild.
It would be my best forward. Fantastic. So, yeah, Cameron, she's inheriting a really strong team.
Yeah, an exciting young defense as well.
Oh, Sanderson. The Sim loves Sanderson. Matt, what do we think about Niagara?
Yeah, it's a really good mix of young assets that are just breaking into the league. The one interesting thing about the way the franchise is set up right now is there isn't a lot of young assets in the prospect side of things, and there's not a lot of dice rolls. So, like, frankly, there's not a lot of volume.
Mostly because but a lot of their prospects have like graduated to NHL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of a weird mix there.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cameron is Paul Heyman. We have a new manager coming in to take a mid-level team up to the top. They've got championship aspirations. So that's the plan here.
You know what's not the plan? Seattle giving up a return touchdown.
Yeah,
that's very upsetting.
Yeah, that's not.
I should not have. I started the Seahawks defense. Sorry, Cameron. The Seattle Seahawks defense ruined our segment. Paul Heyman's one of my favorites, so this is nothing but glowing praise. Is there any area that may prevent Niagara from reaching the top?
I mean, what else?
Of course it's goaltending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Varlamov is I'll say capable 1A-ish kind of starter, but Trent Miner is not the backup to lead this team to the postseason.
Well, the good news is that injuries to goalies don't happen that much in our league, right? And they certainly don't get tired after 1 or 2 games, right? Right? Niagara, smooth sailing from here on.
This is fine.gif. Yeah.
Okay, great. Number 9, I have...
It's our boy.
It's Chasm. Number 9. No. Some teams may be happy with number 9. Other teams may be. He's not happy.
He's down 7 spots from last season.
Goodness me, what happened to Chasm, Matt? What is your analysis?
Well, the top of the forward group is really nice.
Okay.
And Chasm, true to the millionaires moniker, did manage to spend, and this is I believe I double checked this math, $72 million on Dmitry Kulikov and Jeff Petrie.
Stalwarts on defense.
Wow.
Hey, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah. Respectively his 3rd and 6th defenseman.
It does feel like things are in a little bit of a holding pattern until Wallstedt arrives.
Right.
That's sort of how I looked at things. Like, the team is very strong.
Shut up. I don't want to talk about it.
And Chasm only has 3 rated goalies.
You know what? Just the goalies are overrated.
Yeah, they are. Who needs a goalie? We're not playing with fire here. And of course, we talked about this a little bit before the video. I'm really excited. The wrestler associated with Chasm
is Kevin Nash.
Yes. Big Daddy. No, that's not Big Daddy Cool. Wait. Oh, it is. Yeah, Big Daddy Cool. Diesel. When we played No Mercy for the N64, I think the only time I've ever convinced Eric and Chasm to engage in anything wrestling. No, you came to a live show once.
I
remember.
That's
we
true.
saw a silly fan run in on the Batista Triple H match. Yeah, don't do that. But Chasm would usually pick the really big wrestlers, and I think it was Kevin Nash or Big Show that he would usually pick.
Giant high kick.
And those leather pants. Chasm, do you want to tell us something? All right, well, way to go, Kaz. Montreal, even though a dip compared to last year, you're still in the top 10.
Yep, and Kaz, if you need some goaltending depth, I'll be happy to overcharge you. Number 8.
It's me. Hey! Yeah! I can't believe it. I'm number 8. I moved up 5 spots from last year.
Very impressive.
I don't have the best forward group.
You are the opposite of nearly every team in our top half.
Yay!
You got the goaltending first. The defense is also very good, and then your forwards are 20th.
My forwards are 20th.
Easy area to improve, though, relatively speaking.
My forwards are 20th after I got Kurashev, Parise, and Foligno, who are not like world beaters, but pretty like steady forwards. That's after I got those 3.
Yes.
So, I might have a problem with putting the puck at the back of the net.
But your boy Nikas next year
Nikas
is going to make you look...
I do like my boy Nikas. And unfortunately, I will have to say that Eric really, really pushed me to draft him. He was drafted 12th in the NHL, and he fell to me at 18th at the first summit.
And I begged you for that draft pick.
And you
said,
like,
no.
We're like, draft Nikas.
Well, not before I tried to get the pick from you.
Well, naturally, that's fine.
Devious.
I love my team. I'm really excited. I don't want to get my expectations up too high because obviously I'm nowhere near some of the top. But I think I could maybe do some damage and turn some heads.
I mean that defense is absurd though.
I do like the defense.
McAvoy, Dahlin, that's a 3-headed monster right there.
I'm all right with that. And my boy Jackson Lacombe.
Sure.
Some random defenseman I drafted in high school. And now he somehow has a 90 DF. It's awesome.
And Mrazek is remarkably good.
Yeah, I was
Where did those ratings
very
come
lucky
from?
with the Mrazek re-rate. It's happy. Unfortunately, my boy, the Sway Man, is having a bit of a...
Enjoy that while it lasts.
Yeah, next year may be a little different. But I'm happy to be here. Matt, who's my wrestler?
Well, first of all, I want
Probably Brock Lesnar.
to note in retrospect that the failure to anoint the Schooners as Doink the Clown is something that will haunt me.
How dare you? No, Doink the Clown was an excellent heel.
Oh, well,
He was very devious.
He was very devious.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to look this up
next time.
Decide whether or not I'm offended.
Henry is the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah. Queen rising to the top. Yeah. We did have some, I did have a little bit of cream in my milk earlier today. In my milk.
First
in my
name
tea.
Macho,
In my tea.
last name Man, but also like very, very strong. We're looking at Doink the Clown. Very, very strong run at the top, and then sort of like petered off in the middle of the tail end of his WWE career, but before having a resurgence again in the early years of WCW, NWO, and you're sort of doing that bounce. That's a Macho Man bounce.
I'm touched. That's a big compliment. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Well, thank you all. And on a side note, thank you all for reading and watching the Power Rankings videos and rankings articles. We all put a lot of work into them. I get a lot of help from a lot of GMs, and it means a lot when you read them. And most importantly, please comment on them. Even if it's a pithy, silly comment, it means a lot knowing that you're reading them. And big thanks to Mark and Mike for facilitating that and improving it every year. So great. That's awesome. All right, number 7.
It's the last of our Even Steven tier.
This is it. This is the end of the Even Steven tier. But man, I'm kind of surprised to see them this low, to be honest.
I mean, they're down a spot from last year, but this is a team that's historically a top 5.
Dread them, run from them. They're inevitable.
Yep.
It's the Acadia Grizzlies.
Da Bears.
The Bears. Matt, what is going on with the Bears? Oh, what a shock. They're good, and they still have a lot of draft picks.
The Bears are good. They're deep. He's already improved his 2025 draft pick compliment. Guy is going to Guy. This is the way it works. Defense is better than its ranking, in my opinion. I think there's an elite combination of high DF, high checking combo that's going to mask a little bit of middling goaltending. The Bears, as always, are, they're a blue chip franchise. They are a Brock Lesnar of the SICHL.
Yeah, perfectly said. You look at a guy like Brandon Hagel in the other league who is a threat to make the Four Nations Cup. And I'm like, gee, I wonder who has him in our league. And I'm like, why do we even bother? Of course, Guy got him in like the 5th or the 6th. Like, why would, naturally. Good thing I picked Otto Koivula a few spots beforehand.
That could work out for you.
Otto Koivula is, I don't even think he's playing in the league right now. So the only area, and again, stop us if you've heard this before, the only area that might hold him back is goaltending.
Yeah.
However, one of his goaltenders is Logan Thompson, who is having a good year in that other league. So next year, the Bears might be even more fearsome.
Fat guy interception.
Fat guy interception. Amazing. Yes. Go.
He's so tired.
Go. He's going to touchdown.
You're going to start pushing him.
He's going to get it. That's amazing. Yes. Was that defense?
Yeah.
99 over the line.
But that means I get points?
Yes, it does.
Yes. Leonard Williams.
Sorry, we're getting wildly off.
Sorry, no, but this is very exciting, you guys. Almost as exciting as SICHL. That is so amazing. Okay. Acadia. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Amazing. Always. Guy knows his stuff. And listen to his podcast if you don't. He has some really cool interviews with people that to be honest, I don't usually see on TV sometimes. So it's really cool to get some perspective on the juniors. And I know, I just love hearing those interviews. I think they're awesome. So the Pipeline Show, give it a try. All right. Number 6.
Hey, we're into a new tier, folks.
We're into a new tier.
So let me set up this next little stretch here. So we've got oh my god, what's the opposite of diminishing returns? You can tell my mimosas are kicking in here. It's
you work for a bank.
We're in a curve. I'm not that bright though. I got an English degree for God's sake. Anyway, we've got 3 tiers out of these last 6 teams. We're getting into some pretty rarefied air here. So This next 2-team tier is, I'm going to call this the playoff locks. Okay?
So these teams are
in the playoffs.
Unless the sim decides to be really mean, they're in.
But they are a cut behind that top 4.
Okay.
A significant, serious.
So this is a small tier.
Indeed it is.
And we have some mainstays in here. And number 6. Number 6, man, this team keeps knocking at the door. So when I do the rankings, I have to remind myself that when you get into the top 10, improvement is harder to get and more impressive. So when we see this team has jumped 4 spots, that's not going from like 28 to 24. That's going from 10 to 6, which is, I would argue, harder and more impressive to do. We have the White Horse Huskies.
Die boy.
Dawn, the Huskies. Matt, what do we think about Dawn's Huskies this year?
The only comment I have, and again, this is broken record, is goalies.
Yep.
Oh, you don't say. He's missing goalies, is he?
Indeed. Although a more respectable goalie bunch than he's had historically.
Is that because he drafted 15 goalies in 2 years?
I mean, I don't think that's paying off quite yet.
How many rated goalies does he have?
He did go out and acquire Aiden Hill.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a solid backup for once.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, like Taryn, he's got
depth.
solid goalie depth, but
Yes.
no like sort of world beaters.
Correct.
No one 80 and up.
No.
Barely anyone 70 and up.
No.
Yeah.
And weirdly, and I think this is more a casualty of the ratings than the team actually getting worse. He got some tough re-rates on a bunch of his forwards. The forward group is not as strong as or not as deep as it has been.
Yeah, that's
still got
second
elite
tier.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But we're kind of nitpicking here because like overall very solid lineup. He's always got a great blue line. We can definitely see the Huskies doing some damage, and most importantly, we know that Dawn is going to be invested and chatting on Discord and being in the middle of everything and being a great member of the community.
Stalwart.
All right, great job, Dawn.
Yeah.
And you forgot to mention the wrestler.
Oh, I mean, Dawn is the 1990s WWF star, The Goon.
That's so great. Dawn, if you didn't want that, you shouldn't be beating people up all the time.
I hope Mark's got pictures inset on this when he edits it, because that'll be perfect.
I think he will.
Yeah.
Mark's a very
trust
good editor. He's like cursing under his breath. Yes, I'd love to do that, Henry. Where to go? Okay. So next we have.
Speaking,
Hey, good segue.
wow, we're gonna.
So now we're in the top 5. Yeah. So now we are really getting into the good stuff here.
Yeah.
Number 5, big surprise. It's our fearless commissioner Mark McRae's Fredericton Express.
Indeed.
Does Fredericton have any holes at all there?
Weirdly, for the self-anointed best young defensive core in the league,
He is.
their defense is 14th best in the league.
Whoa.
How do you figure that?
Okay.
So again, very, very deep.
Yeah.
Lacking that true number one,
Okay.
all situations kind of demon.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
Wierenski and is it
Sherrod?
It's Sherrod. Is it Sherrod or Chariot? I would say Chariot.
I'm going to go with Sherrod.
It's definitely not Chariot, so we're going to say Chariot.
Yeah.
Connor Murphy, Jack Johnson, Phil Peronik. Okay, yeah, but that's
All
basically
good.
that's basically the only thing keeping him away from maybe a top spot because his goaltending is looking as. But oddly enough, it's not Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky's the backup.
That's an incredible.
What's
Vasilevsky,
happening?
The backup. Matt, who's the starting goalie?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a reversal situation going on there. You do have Talbot as the starter and Vasilevsky as the clear backup.
Couldn't see
We're
that
in the
coming.
upside down.
We are.
This is the upside down. But, you know, the Express, they're the brains of the operation. They're the cerebral assassin of the league. They're the boss.
Yes.
They are the Triple H.
Yeah, I mean, Mark is a pedigree above most others, so that works too. Yes, Triple H. Oh, he is that damn good. All right, well, Mark, we fear you. We're nervous. We're scared. We think you have a very good relationship with the sim, which upsets us greatly. Congratulations on a top 5 spot. I hope you do very well. Number 4. I'm not sucking up.
It's getting interesting now.
So now we last 2 tiers, and each tier now has 2 teams remaining in it. Tell us about these tiers.
Okay. This next tier, we're dubbing the heavy hitters.
Okay.
Okay. These are folks that really, if they're dropped out before the conference finals, something's gone horribly wrong.
This is a team where you see them on your upcoming schedule, and you're like, oh, poop.
Yes.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. Getting into the stats side of things, the second biggest ratings gap between teams is between 4 and 5.
Which is crazy.
Which is nuts, given what Matt expressed before about what you expressed before about how difficult it is to climb when you're on top.
Yeah, that's right. It goes like that.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a whole cut above even the Frederictons and White Horses of the league, and it is a huge surprise. Our biggest riser.
This is a mammoth
It's an achievement.
It is. It's incredible. I can't believe it. But you probably noticing, hey guys, you haven't mentioned the Vancouver Vipers because they're number 4.
Yeah.
Bryce.
Well done, Bryce.
What have
Holy
you
moly.
done? The Vancouver Vipers,
Yeah.
after middling in that mushy middle for the longest time, waiting to strike, trying to rely on Taylor Hall, and now he has a demon of a lineup error. Tell me what their rankings.
Well, and this is the hilarious thing. It's not because of their forwards.
Right.
15th best in the league. Second best defense. Second best goaltending.
Man, okay, so
This
they're
is
like me, but like better.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You on steroids.
Man, so Mo Seider, Jared Spurgeon, Provorov, Alexiak, Shea? Yeah, Brady Shea, and Justin Barron as his starting 6, and man, does that look good.
Wild.
And then for goaltending, he's got Bobrovsky and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah.
So he's got that star goalie and that goalie depth.
And even a very good third stringer in Reimer.
Man, Matt, how can we tell us the secret of how can we defeat the Vipers?
I don't know. They have an excellent defense, like a truly excellent defense. I really like this team. I mean, that goes without saying as number 4, but even before I'd actually seen the rankings, I was just going through the teams, like everything jumps off the page here. There is premium talent across the board. This is a gold medal winning squad. This is Kurt Angle.
Oh, I love it. Intelligence, integrity, and intensity. The 3 I's. Kurt Angle, one of my all-time favorites. Bryce, well done on turning this team around, drafting Seider. You've just collected an amazing team, and I would love to see Vancouver stay near the top. Get a different team in the mix.
And he's been so patient about it.
Yeah.
I remember years past, how long have we been putting the Vipers in that, 15 to 20?
Always kind of, but
right
like
on the bubble
once in a while,
every
though,
year.
he'd go on this tear and then go down very streaky. Like
He was always a giant killer. Towards the end of the season, especially.
If you look at we don't do standard deviations at Power Rankings headquarters, but if you did, he would have the highest. I'm positive, or among the highest. So much volatility. But I think we're going to see more consistency this year.
Exciting times.
Way to go, Bryce. Congratulations. All right. The last team in the heavy hitters, number 3. I mean, no surprise here.
Well, I'm surprised that he's not in the top 2.
Maybe a little bit of a surprise. What I mean is no surprise that this team is looking like an absolute juggernaut. It's Ian and the Banff Rockies, Matt. So tell us about them. Why should we cower in fear at the mere mention of the name Rockies?
The forward group is ridiculous.
Yes, it is very it's upsetting, is what it is.
Honestly, the defense probably got some very favorable ratings.
I
agree with that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. Plus, where they're unique is they're playable 8 deep. So Ian has a lot of flexibility to mix and match with that defensive group.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the waiver draft coming up later today. Banff gave Freddie Anderson all of the money in free agency.
Yes.
And then put him up for waivers.
And then immediately said anybody else can have him. So
I mean, someone's going to take him. We've just talked this whole time. How many times have we mentioned that teams need goaltending? So I would think someone is going to pick him up.
I mean, I think so as well. I mean, there is a bit of a poison pill contract there.
Yeah.
20 mil times 4.
Yeah, but somebody's going to pick him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is a new wrestler that I had never heard of until yesterday. Banff has all of the pieces.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I've used the term blue chip once or twice before, but like they are blue chip, they're elite. They've got, you used the term pedigree before. There's just so much depth here. This is a team that's going to win. I think we all expect them to go on to win championships. They just haven't done it yet. And so they are Braun Breaker.
Yeah, Braun
who is
Breaker.
a second generation WWE star who we saw perform yesterday. And you see that guy and it looks like somebody who's going to be a champion, a WWE champion a long time.
Yeah, he delivered a fearsome spear.
Yeah.
I forget if he won the match.
Yes.
He did win the match. He was very good. Ian, I think when you came into the league, you rebuilt for about 6 hours, and then you decided, hey, I'm going to be one of the best teams in the league for the time. For the
foreseeable future.
Yeah. So way to go. Congratulations, Rockies. Scare me. I'm glad they're in the other less cool conference. Last tier. Yeah. So this is it. The last 2. And by process of elimination, you can probably guess who it is. Number 2, I'm sorry to say, is in my conference. Actually, the final 2 are in my conference. Thankfully, I'll finally get done talking about the Canadian conference.
The more
I got Geno Smith doing something crazy here. Oh, he's got
throws away.
It's something. So Portland's a lot better than that. It's the Portland Buckaroos. JD's team looks absolutely primed to take on the number one team. Is there any areas of weakness here?
Believe it or not, this is the best forward group in the entire league.
That's it. No
This
one's
is
better.
ahead of even our top ranked team.
Jesus.
This is numero uno. Sixth best defense, but nothing to sneeze at, and third best goaltending. And I'll note too, I mentioned before how the gap between, what was that, 4 and 5 was huge.
Mm-hmm.
This gap between 2 and 3 is even bigger. This is the single biggest gap in points between teams, and it's between the second and third best.
Gee whiz. Okay,
It's
so
crazy.
it's
This
really
is
these. It's
the
really these
creme
two.
de la creme tier.
Oh, the creme de la creme tier. Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
forgot to mention that. So Matt, tell us why we should be terrified of Portland, even though it seems pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, as Eric alluded to, the Buckaroos are spectacular across the board. Furthermore, they do have Sin JT Miller, who is going to do what he does. Demko and Decord are a very nice tandem in net. It's going to be interesting to see, not to do too much spoiler, but it'll be interesting to see that Jeff from the Revolution is finally going to have to play a Canadian conference tier opponent before the finals.
Wait, who? Who's the number one team?
I don't know. I didn't
We
recognize
haven't,
him.
we didn't mention him.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, very scary. And who's the wrestler, Matt?
Oh, I mean, this is a rugged, ferocious team. This is Stone Cold.
Hear that glass break. It's coming for you. Awesome. Well, JD, amazing job on a terrifying team. Man, yeah, just everywhere it looks absolutely scary, and you're going to score a lot. Okay. Well, gentlemen, we've come to the very end. We have a little surprise here.
Well, who's number one?
It's you know who it is. We know who it is. It's Jeff and the Havana Revolution are the number one team. They are not only the defending champs, they are the double defending champs. And after looking at his roster, gentlemen, I'm not worried about a third championship.
Oh no, not at all. Not with the.
No, Eric, I'm worried about a fourth championship.
Stop.
That's
Stop
what
talking.
I'm worried
Stop
about.
talking.
So to cheers now. Typically we do this at the beginning of the video, but we wanted to make him sweat a little bit. Matt, anything to say for our illustrious champion?
No, we are once again going to commemorate the Revolution Championship with some Nick Offerman Lagavulin.
Well done. Congratulations.
Fine.
Begrudgingly drinking Scotch, I love. What a weird combination.
It's so good though. Now remember, at the beginning of the rankings, I said we drink less whiskey. I didn't say we drink no whiskey. It's still also morning. So this definitely hits me. It's good that you've taken the SkyTrain home.
This is as tilted as I've ever been on a Sunday morning.
So Jeff was already really good, and then he got really gooder.
The best defense,
Right.
The best goaltending,
Oh, phooey.
the second best forwards,
Okay.
and that forward piece is the narrowest of margins behind.
So there's
GD.
no real
kinda crazy.
There's no real holes in his roster.
no depth for days and the best at each position. So
I did
not
like
great.
how Jeff commented on Discord about how he doesn't overspend on free agents. Why do people? Why don't poor people simply have more money?
when you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth,
Oh.
that's pretty easy,
Why
isn't
don't
it?
you go get a Connor McDavid and a Connor Hellebuck and all the good Connors? Does he have Kyle Connor too? No, he doesn't.
No, we talked about that.
He might go get them. So yeah, it's at this point it's Jeff's cup to lose, which I know he'll hate to hear. But hear it anyway, Jeff. You shouldn't have had such a good team if you didn't want to hear that. Havana Revolution, number one, pretty obvious choice. Although Portland actually not too far off. Okay, gentlemen, we have come to the end of the power rankings. Any final thoughts? Oh, and Jeff, who's Jeff's wrestler?
Oh yes.
Well, I mean, as you alluded to, right? Like Jeff's put himself in a position here where the team is stacked, and this is what mega elite looks like. My only silly little complaint is I don't love the Chikrin, Ristolainen 6-7 group, but let's be clear, this is a very, very tiny nitpick.
Yeah.
If he doesn't three-peat based on the roster, it'll be a choke, right? Like that's the situation he's in right now. That the pressure is on.
Hope that doesn't happen.
But this, the Revolution are the late 80s, early 90s Hulk Hogan.
Force of nature.
Yeah.
Can't be stopped. Politicking, the skills, the strength, the victories. Devastating. I'll get there one Dang. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Great job, Matt and Eric, for doing a ton of prep, and I did absolutely none. Any final thoughts, Matt, before we say goodbye to our fellow illustrious GMs?
I hope everybody has a great, well, I hope some teams have a great season, preferably those on that I don't play regularly.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to trade me a second goalie or an entire fourth line, just send me a message, because I would like a fourth line.
Matt's very easily contactable because he's on Discord. Eric, anything final thoughts for you?
Schooners are back, ready to take advantage of anybody who's napping. And
Would you like to trade me a fourth line?
What have I done? Oh boy. Oh, this whiskey's hitting. All right. And yes, that's it for us. On behalf of Eric and Matt and myself and the rest of the league, thank you all for watching. Best of luck in the upcoming season, and we'll see you out there. Take care.
boost.